folks, welcome back to the next awesome episode of Whining About Pest Control with Shell. I am Shell Hartzer of 360 Pest Consulting. And today I want to whine about Carpenter Bees. It is a beautiful spring day here outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And the Carpenter Bees are starting to come out. So in honor of these little woodworkers, I have a very nice oaky Chardonnay, actually from one of my favorite Georgia wineries. So cheers. Wonderful. Now, a little background to get us started. Carpenter bees are a type of solitary bee. So while we may see lots of them, especially around this time of year and through the summer, they're not colony makers like honeybees or paper wasps are. They form little individual nests. The males emerge first in the spring and start flying around looking for a friend. They're going to patrol their little area, and folks get really annoyed because they're flying back and forth and back and forth. Females are going to emerge second, and once they're mated, they start to chew through that unsealed wood to make their little galleries in which they're going to lay their eggs. And they're also going to provision these galleries with pollen and nectar that they've collected, and that's what the developing larvae is going to eat. Now, these are the largest bees in the United States, and they're often confused with bumblebees. So your customer may be calling with concerns about bumblebees when it's in fact carpenter bees, or vice versa. So the way you tell them apart is that the carpenter bee is much more black on the abdomen, and it's less fuzzy, kind of patent leather black. And this differentiates it from the bumblebee, which is going to be a little bit more yellow, a little bit more fuzzy. This identification is important because these two bees are nesting in very different places. But let's whine about the control aspect of these, since that's what people are calling about. The first thing to do is remind customers that these are harmless. Males don't have a stinger, and females need to be seriously pissed off before they're even going to think about stinging a person. Plus, they're really great pollinators, and we definitely like our native pollinators. I know, I can hear you yelling, but Shell, they're destroying the wood. Yes, in very high numbers over many years, the number of galleries that they have chewed out can cause some structural damage. The best thing to be done is to seal the wood. Carpenter bees are only going to attack untreated wood. So any type of sealant, paint, or other treatment is going to protect that wood from future incursions. There are pesticides that are labeled for treating carpenter bees, but to be effective, you're really going to have to get that inside those little galleries to kill off the developing larvae. Depending on how many galleries you can find, this is going to be time consuming, and your time is worth money. To be perfectly honest, you are never going to be able to identify and access all of the nests around a structure. That doesn't mean you can't try and get many of those nests, though. Now, for just a minute, I do want to whine about those Carpenter Bee traps you see all over the internet, and you see them on the shops, Home Depot, Home Goods, whatever it is. The science is really lacking on these. There is a paper from Cornell that showed that they do catch about equal numbers of males and females. And of course, we want to catch the females, since these are the ones that are doing the damage. But they don't catch huge numbers of the adult bees. And a big drawback they found was that there's a lot of other insects that get pulled into these traps too, and some of them are quite beneficial. So bottom line, if customers want to use them, go ahead, but it can't be the only means of control. It's just not going to work that these are the only things out there. So to recap, carpenter bees, mostly harmless. For best results, seal the wood in some way to prevent them from drilling in. Once they do get in, targeted treatments to the galleries can be moderately effective, but it's going to be labor intensive. So don't get stung by bad customer reviews on your stinging insect service. Come whine to me about how I can help you with your stinging insects and all the other pests you're dealing with. I've posted some helpful resources down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my whining. Till next time, cheers.